So this is me about a year ago. This is my buddy Mario, and we went to LA to pick up my brand new project. I purchased a 2017 G63 for $80,000. I picked up this trailer for $5,000, and for additional $45,000, I picked up this Mercedes-Benz 6x6 kit. I figured this would be a fun project. Every YouTuber is driving a Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren. I wanted something different, so I figured what would be greater than driving something where only 100 of these vehicles were ever made. So all I have to do now is just cut it in half and put it back together. So it only took me about a month and a half to actually cut the body and frame, do all the fabrication, and put it back together. What absolutely destroyed my timeline was waiting for vendors. I had an upholstery guy that was supposed to do the seats. I took him down there, wasted my time, almost about a month and a half of doing that. On top of that was the painters. I went through 4 different painters trying to get the car painted. I dropped it off at different shops, and to make a long story short, none of them fulfilled anything. All they had to do was paint the back half of the car, and it took them over 6.5 months to let me know that they weren't able to do that. So I had to take it to my buddy's Mike shop. He knocked it out really quickly. It took about a month over there, but these are some of the things that just absolutely kills timelines. So the first thing we got to do is actually put these windows in, because this is way too big to go in the garage. So we have a wide opening there and in the corner windows. So I don't mess with glass, but they actually figured out a way where we can reuse these gaskets for the back window, which we're going to put in there. So one of the things I wanted to do was get more leg space in the G-Wagon. Now, even though these things are big SUVs, believe it or not, the foot space, the leg space is not that much. So we cut out the wheel arches, as you can see right here, and we shaved them down to 6 inches, giving us a total of, I believe, about 11 inches of extra foot space and leg space, so we can be comfortable on those long trips and possibly put footrests. Now, one of the other reasons why we did this, because we wanted to use the factory seats, because as you can see right here, I want all the tilting mechanisms to fit and still work, because there's going to be storage behind the seats, as well as all the new fuse panels and all the electrical they're re-putting on the back wall. Also, something that was very important was to dynamat the whole interior of the vehicle. Now, G-Wagons are luxury vehicles, but believe it or not, they don't have much sound deadening in there. So this dynamat will help protect this from not only vibration, but also sound, but help keep it cool in the cabin, because I live in Las Vegas, and even though this Mercedes is new and it has AC, it does not compete with the desert heat. Now, there's nothing worse than spending a bunch of money on a vehicle and not doing these types of things. So it's the little things that matter that will give you that extra luxury feel. So this is what my day is looking like so far. I have the electrical panel almost set up. We had to bolt on all the brackets, fuse panels. I got the seat bolts in. We're figuring out this. I'm making brackets right now for the actual motor for the sunroof, because before, this cab used to go about another 3.5 feet back, and the motor was all the way back there. So now I have to put all this stuff, including that motor, closer to the actual cab with a new fuse panel. So it's going to be a little bit crazy. So some of this wiring has to be shortened, because you can see how long it is. It's basically looped in a circle. And some of this that has to go out to the bed with the fuel accessories and suspension have to be extended. So the next few days is going to be pretty fun. So I'm here today to take some measurements off a real Mercedes 6x6, because even though mine is quote unquote a perfect replica, I just want to double check a few things, make sure that the pinion angle and the axles are correct, because we are getting close to finishing up the project, and I want to make sure that I can have fun with it. By hopefully next month, we're going to be driving it and doing all this fun stuff. So today we're going to go ahead and measure the axles, some of the frame mounts, and some of the other things. And also a huge shout out to Bill Rader for helping us out with letting a look at this for some measurements. These are the last 2 axles to get done. They're going to do portals on both of these. I've never done it before, so I want to make sure I bring it to a professional. And his whole shop, as you can see, is full of crazy off-road G-Wagons. Looking forward to actually getting this thing on the road. Here's me picking up the new tires. Now, these tires are sponsored by Hankook, and it will be in their booth during SEMA, so definitely come and check it out. Now, these are 35s. We're going to be going up to 37s, but look at the difference between the factory wheel and 35s. Once we go to 37s and 40s, it's be crazy. So I got the tank hooked up. Scanner's clear. Let's cycle the key. Fingers crossed. Shit. Come on. Damn it. So I checked all the fluids, got everything set up, had to plug in a few wires, make some grounds, got the jump box on there, my scanner ready, fingers crossed, cycle the pump. First time running in a year. Just gonna put the exhaust on, start buttoning up the interior, and then we're gonna start putting on the axles, and this thing's gonna go for its first test drive. Pulling it out of the garage for the first time. I have the portal axles in, the suspension. It's still gotta go up 3 inches with the suspension, and I don't have the 37s on there. I only have the factory wheels. But with the factory garage, that is how much space I have to clear, which is absolutely insane. So hopefully we'll pull it out here. We'll be able to do the adjustment of the suspension, put the wheels on, and we'll probably gain another 6 to 8 inches in lift. But just to show you how close this thing is, just absolutely insane. So here's the factory unit. Now this is a 2017, so it does have Bluetooth, but it does not have Apple CarPlay. So what we're going to be doing is installing a much larger screen with Apple CarPlay and a bunch of extra features, plus a bigger backup camera. So this way we can get all the clearance we need to back this beast up, and then hopefully put a trailer on it. And underneath all that mess, that's all the spaghetti I got to put back in there. Ta-da! Looks great. Can't wait to actually use it and check out the backup camera. All right, now that we got the thing running, I picked up the axles. I got the axles installed. We're working on the brake calipers to actually fit up to the new portal axles. So that just shows you how much of a drop it goes down, 6 inches. We got the engine all buttoned up. There was a few leaks, but we got those fixed. We're recharging the AC. And on the other side here, we ran into a little bit of a problem. This bracket right here, they sent me 2 basically driver sides. I need a passenger side, so I can't finish this until I get that part. So this has to come all the way from Germany. So I'm sure I'm gonna have to pay some outrageous amount of shipping to get it. But once I do that, this caliper is gonna go on there, finishing up the rears. Now I can't use the factory brake calipers. I have to use these aftermarket ones that Tybus sent. So they're gonna be a total of 6, which I'll show you here on the other side. So these are all 6 of the new calipers that are going to be hydraulic and electronic for the e-brake. I'm basically going to be setting all these up. Now, I did have a big setback when it came to the axle, unfortunately. They sent me all the parts, but the inner shafts are wrong because I got a real Mercedes 6x6 axle where they sent me one for a factory G550. So those will not work. So we have to find some place that'll make it, a machine shop, something like that. But my goal was to drive it this weekend. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that. So my whole goal is to line all this stuff up, bolt it in, and then get the custom brake lines, drive shafts, and everything else start to be made. Now, when it comes to the upholstery, we're almost done. I am just waiting on the headliner and also the carpet. Now, if you see this gap right here to this is how far we moved back the back seat, because this used to basically be setting right here. So now we have over 16 inches of space. So you have quite a bit of leg space. The seats are leaning back. So I can't believe it, but it's almost done. Now, it sounds great. I'll start it for you guys here in a little bit, but the downfall is I got the donuts for the exhaust. They were pretty much rusted out. So as soon as I unbolted them, they just kind of broke apart, which is crazy because this thing is a 2017 with 20,000 miles. But as you can see, we put the new screen in there. It's looking good. Everything else is pretty much wrapped up. Now, I've been working on this thing for 12 months, and I was really hoping I'd be done. Now, I lost about 6 months basically chasing bodywork guys and everything else. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, I wanted to build something unique, something different, something special, like I talked about earlier. And I think I did this with this Mercedes 6x6. I have all kinds of fun plans. This is actually going to be at Hankook's booth at SEMA. We have a few TV shows I can't mention just right now that want to feature this car, that we're going to go out driving, do some fun stuff around Vegas and also the sand dunes. But I got to give a huge shout out to Luxury Lease Partners. They are the original sponsors of this build. You know, when I told them I had an idea of building something crazy, building my dream car, they were one of the first companies to get behind me and sponsor this. So I have to give a huge shout out to them. So if you're looking for any type of exotic car financing, classic car, or even luxury car financing, reach out to them, because now not only do they do leases, but they actually do traditional loans as well. So they got a lot of great things. I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. Just tell them that Lucky sent you, check them out, because like I said, they got tons of great financing options for everybody to help you guys get into your dream car. Now, the next video is going to be a lot more fun, because hopefully by then I'll get the parts in from overseas and we are going to drive this thing up and down Las Vegas Boulevard. But I want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support. It's been absolutely amazing. Even though this thing stresses me the hell out, I love it to death. It's such a fun car, and I can't wait to share it with you guys and take a few guys on rides. Hopefully you guys can check it out at SEMA in person, and we'll see you next video.